Oh, good to
Live,
know.
live. Yeah. So, buenos dias. what, what's going on?
Reminds me of DHL calling today. Sir, may
Sir,
package po kayo.
may package po, package. You know?
Sir, live po kayo. Live na po kayo. And then I said, okay.
Okay. Is that my
A-
problem or what? I don't
And
know what you're talking about.
then, what do you want me to do about it now?
Two guys from two sides of the world. The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. Catch us live every Wednesdays and Sundays, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines. Now, your hosts, Jay and Noel.
Wow.
Sorry, man.
Wow.
I don't know who was in charge of the intro button, but I just couldn't help myself.
I to be honest with you, I completely forgot.
That's
I,
good.
I completely forgot. That's my bad.
Can you imagine if they gave us the authority to be pressing nuclear weapons, nuclear buttons?
Oh, don't say that, dude. They could be listening to us. That wa-
Wait a minute.
oh,
Like,
was I supposed to do that?
oh, I totally forgot.
I
Or
wasn't
was
sure
that?
if I was supposed to do that or not, but
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. My hands were my fingers were itchy.
can you imagine though? You know how everything's digital now, right? Everything's probably that whatever whoever's carrying that football is probably that's what at least according to the movies that's what they call the codes. It's called the football.
Mm.
I'm sure it's digitalized and it's connected to somebody's phone. What if somebody just accidentally just
Or they get.
that's
I wonder how it works. Maybe they get a text message like, "Do you like reply stop if you want to stop receiving messages?"
your subscription is like, expired.
And then each notification is like 5 pesos. They're like, ah, screw that. Stop my notifications.
Can you turn up your gain a little bit?
And then they'd be
You're
like,
coming in a
hey,
little soft.
you're supposed to be approving the internal, code football thing that we're supposed to do. Oh, I didn't get the notification,
Was I
which is
supposed to
what's.
like hit that red button?
That's why my mom's so pissed off that I wasn't able to receive the DHL yesterday because I wasn't able to
You
pick up the
didn't
phone.
have a
They were trying
notification.
to go. Yeah, none
You,
of my notifications are turned on. Like I didn't want to tell her I was sleeping, but I was just
or
saying
or what if
my
the that football guy, the secret agent service guy, is like, oh, I don't have any more loads on my phone.
yun nga. And then or I was like my phone was on silent actually. So my mom's all pissed off. Like you're supposed to receive a DHL package. Aren't you supposed to be like, you're supposed to be anticipating it? Glad I'm not pressing the nuclear weapons for today.
Well, hmm.
I mean, I
Sorry to
knew
you
that it
then.
was coming somewhere within the week, but I didn't realize that it was coming today.
Was there a note? She did not give you any kind of tracking notice or whatsoever.
Not specifically. And plus, there's like three, four, five other people that could have been called or texted. Not
Right.
just me. It's like all the pressure is just on me. It's like, you didn't answer your phone. You didn't reply to the text message. You. It's all your fault. Now we have a nuclear war going on.
Well, welcome. Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We actually made it to the show today. It almost never happened since Noel forgot that it was today.
Actually, that's another thing. Right. I was thinking that because I was thinking, on our intro, it's like Thursday or something like that, and I was just thinking, oh, it's not until tomorrow, so I totally forgot about it. Good thing you called. So here we are.
How
Changed
does
my
that?
shirt and ready to go.
Yeah, I had to open this window and let some cool breeze come in a little bit because it's getting really hot here.
Six
Um,
o'clock in the morning. There, it's still dark.
yeah, man, it's almost 7 a.m. here. It's still dark. It's getting annoying. This is like a depressing season.
Wow.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? How you been? It's been a couple of days since we've actually chit chatted.
You want me to be? You want to tell you? You want me to tell you exact really what's up?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the reason why I asked.
I was wondering if it was a like a rhetorical question, but okay, if it's free therapy, I take advantage of it.
There you go. Let's go.
You have a couple of minutes to do a therapy session with me.
I'm ready.
I've been bothered about that Ryan Agoncillo comment.
Okay, so we're going there. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just beginning to think maybe I'm not cut out for this.
Oh, what? Too soft? Is that what it is?
Yeah, too soft. People thinking that that we're doing bad things on the on the air. Who do we think we are?
Right.
Oh, my name's Noel, and that's Jay. So now you know us. So um, yeah, no, I was just wondering about that. I mean, I was just thinking like maybe it's a good thing because people are reacting, but maybe it's also a bad thing because we're talking negative about other people.
Well, it's not really okay. I guess it was. I'll take blame for it. Most of it was my fault since I'm the one that pretty much egged on it quite a bit. Okay. First of all, it was just basic humor, just joking around people.
Right.
You know, I honestly did not know that it was a camera that he was carrying. I honestly thought it was one of those bags that are everybody's carrying around them nowadays. So I was obviously curious, like, did he just decide to bring his personal stuff on stage or what? Wala namang ano eh. Kayo naman masyado naman kayong nagagalit eh kagad eh. Tapos sasabihin niyo, sino ba kayo? Hoy! Come on,
How did
chill
you
out.
feel about it when you read those comments?
I was a little annoyed to be honest with you. You know, medyo na-annoy ako talaga. Kasi I don't think na wala naman akong ginagawang or sinasabing masama. At saka, hindi naman ako nang-i-insulto. You know, kung ang isang tao, lalo na sa posisyon nila, magagalit sa mga sinasabi ng tao, eh di mas mahirap ang trabaho nila. Diba? Pag yung mga actors and actresses or entertainers. Because no matter what, there's people that's going to say stuff. Now,
Like two guys in a podcast.
right. Pero kung tutuusin mo, kung pakinggan mo lahat ng sinabi natin, hindi naman insulto sa kanya yung ano eh, yung sinabi. Parang ano lang eh. It was just commenting in regards to the bag and what possible reasons could there be. Right?
You know what this is? The problem with me was it brought up probably like past trauma. I used to do this on the radio. I used to
Oh,
roast people also. Like, just make fun. I thought it was funny. I thought it was
right.
funny, especially like my tricycle comment. Like, yeah, siguro namamasada yan pagkatapos ni mag-host.
Oo,
And
oo.
some guy responded to something to the effect of hindi nyo naman alam yung kanyang network. Like, first of all, it's not network, it's his net worth. We're talking he's probably talking about his money, not his
Right.
scope of like friends.
Right.
Yeah, yun nga. I was thinking nga that we didn't really technically say anything bad. It was just our opinion. Like you and me, we look like Christmas trees right now. Ha ha. Like feel
Exactly.
bad.
Right.
Like and you're bald and I'm bald too. Ha ha. Like gee. But the one that makes me worry, and it's not really like a therapy session, like I'm really affected, but I did think about it for a couple of minutes because it was like because I just put up that video about how kids are the hope for the future, and we think that they're street kids, pero they actually have manners and they're actually good kids. They
Mhm.
they just look, or maybe they're just born and bred into like you know an unhealthy environment, but deep
Right.
inside they're really good kids. And like the the video that I put up about street kids eating in the carinderia uh the other day, which happened like a couple of months ago. Anyway, I was just like hoping for the Philippines, and then when we get comments like this, it's what makes me worry about the Philippines. Na parang grabe naman, parang balat sibuyas naman. Balat sibuyas sila and balat sibuyas rin ako for being so affected by it. But
Right.
balat sibuyas with a touch of suka, balat sibuyas with a touch of insulto. It's like, sino ba kayo? Ang kakalbo nyo naman, like mukha naman kayong koneho. And then I had to Google what koneho was all about. It's like, oh my goodness.
Well, it doesn't have to be like that though. I mean, wala namang insulto yun eh. Kung, meaning, yeah, you make jokes regarding the bag and why a person would be carrying a bag. That's basically it. Do I think that he's a bad actor or a bad person or whatever? No. I actually, after that show episode, remember I said I wasn't sure who he was. I actually went on to try to find out videos and movies about him, and that's when it reminded me that you told me that he's married to what's her name? Jude. They call her Judai,
Yeah,
right?
Julian Santos.
Yeah.
They have
That
a really good, successful, I think, what do you call this? A
love
restaurant
team. Oh, love
on the
restaurant.
street. Yeah,
Oh,
they're like into. I mean, she is like a chef or like really into cooking.
right. Well, he's actually, I'm actually quite a fan of his. You know, I just didn't know who he was, and there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's gonna know everybody. Okay,
Yeah. Pero natawa
chill
lang ako
lang
dun
mga
sa
pare.
reaction about, like kayo, sino ba kayo? Something about
Oh,
his network and net worth. And to, and then I was like thinking, I don't think Ryan would really mind. Parang ano lang yun.
yeah. I mean, wala namang.
But
I do,
yung galit sa atin, yung galit sa akin, like, this is like one, gosh, like one short or one video clip. Paano pa kaya for the rest of the stuff that we've done? But it
right.
was like it just so happens to be we're talking about a celebrity, and this I'm going towards the idea of like how fans now are like will really fight and protect,
Right.
the celebrity that they're so in love with. Baka sila.
Yeah. Well, yun na nga. So it's not, there's only a couple, two comments really in regards to that short. Okay, but they were both kind of like, huh?
There's one that
So
came like 9, 10, 11, 12 hours ago. Did you see the one where it said something like
I just saw that.
this
Pakialam pa,
no
pak,
this dude, if you don't know who this dude is, like don't say anything. It's like that's very dangerous. Like I can't say anything, or actually it was you that
yeah,
said, I don't know who this dude is, but he's wearing like this, like that. And I was like, that's very dangerous, dude. If a person can't say any opinion about anything because they don't know the person, that's
right,
the reason
right,
for them to like shut up and censor themselves
right.
and not say anything because they don't know
And
who
plus,
he
I
is.
didn't say anything bad. I did not say anything bad. Now,
Well,
for that
technically,
comment, can you honestly sit there and tell me, for that person that commented, that you've never said anything or commented on anything about anybody else ever?
yun na
I,
nga yun eh.
oh,
They'll say that you're not saying anything bad. You are saying bad because you're commenting that, well, I commented or we commented that, he looks like a tricycle driver. And I'm like, what's wrong with being a
no.
tricycle driver? That's a decent job.
Right,
It's just
right.
it's just funny to be wearing a bag or anything on your shoulder while you're hosting.
Correct.
But
And like I said, I didn't know it was a bag. I just looked at it.
but it's again, it's not about like defending ourselves and our opinion whether it was right
Right.
or wrong. The one that I was really worried about is someone trying to tell us to shut up and not say anything because we've never met this person before. Let me text Ryan. Uh,
How how is that even gonna work, you know? How? I mean, in any, nobody can really say stuff like that. Okay, especially these people like the other comment, pak, can you say that real quick?
pakialam.
There you go. Pakialam nyo, mga ingitero. Um,
And then they went off like making fun of our accents.
right.
Okay.
Okay. I'm hurt by that. It's okay.
No, but it's just a dangerous sort of path to go down on.
Right.
To tell someone to shut up because you feel insulted by what they said.
You
I mean,
can't to begin with because people are
ako,
entitled to everything.
yeah, like when someone said, okay, ikaw mukha kang kuneho na ano, whatever, or you look like a bald whatever, and I can't stop that person from saying anything like that. Why are you telling
Mm.
me to shut up about my opinion about what Ryan Agoncillo looks like. Whereas you, I can't stop you, or and I don't want to stop you from telling us what you think because we're both wearing green, bald,
Mm.
and with funny accents right now. Parang,
Right, right.
di ba? Parang it's a really dangerous path, I think, to tell someone to censor themselves or to not say anything because
That kind of that kind of brought up something to me. Okay, is that something that is normal? It kind of relates to the whole chismis thing, right?
what
In a
about?
way, because it turns out, or it's sounding like we're chismissing type of thing, right? Is that what we're trying? Is that how it is, or no?
I don't know about chismis, but I would go with like when Tin was sitting here with with her spread eagle, you know,
Okay.
sitting in a vulnerable position a couple of minutes ago before we went on, and I said, "Uy, umayos ka dyan."
Right.
Like, or calling someone out na, "Uy, may kulangot ka sa ilong mo." For me, that's along the lines of what we're saying. It's like
Ah, I
we
see
see
what you're
we,
saying.
we see something that I can see that your zipper's open. Do I tell you na kasi
Right.
or do I don't tell you kasi nakakahiya?
Yeah. Yeah. I think okay, so sa mga tao din naman kasi, hindi naman lahat ng
So yun yung sa
hindi naman
akin.
kasi lahat ng tao parehong ang pag-iisip. Okay. Kung tutuusin, bago mag-comment ng
Bakit
mga this and
bakit
that this, huh?
ba't nagtatagalog ka? Parang
I don't
sorry.
know. Okay, before sorry, before we comment on things, or before people should even comment on things,
Oh,
especially
ba't nag-English
respond to
ka?
a comment.
Tagalogin mo na, sige. Baka insulto yun sa magalit na naman sa atin na nag-i-English tayo eh.
Oh, okay. Well, before before we comment, or before people should comment or respond to a comment, they need to kind of listen to the comment first, and try to look at it from somebody else's perspective. I think that's one of the problems there. But, again, not everybody's the same. Everybody looks at things differently. I just saw it as, you know what? I'm not I'm not bashing on the guy. I actually like the guy. I think he's a good actor and whatnot. He's got a great career. He's got a great job that I'm kind of envious of. Yes. That doesn't mean I'm talking bad about him. All I said was in regards to the bag that I thought was a bag that he was carrying, which happens to be a camera.
Para sa akin is if you're going to comment or you're going to put us in our place, you match you match the level of the mistake. Like don't
Ah,
add another insult to the injury. Like you said, "Oy guys, maybe it's not a good thing to be mentioning something about somebody's appearance." Yun nagigets ko pa eh. But if you're going to say, "Sino ba kayo? Di naman kayo kilala.
hmm.
Tapos ikaw mukha ka pang ganito." You know what I mean? It's like it's hard for me to respect your comment, which I appreciate by the way, but it adds another layer of a problem eh. And I'm not
Yeah.
just talking about like people's comments about our little
Wow.
podcast here, but I'm talking also about like relationships. If I don't like whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendly relationship or a platonic relationship, it's respected, di ba?
Ah.
Pero it's not like anong mo, yung
Wow.
you're making it like a bigger problem if the way that you're addressing the problem, it has to be pantay lang
Hmm.
dun sa dun sa nangyari. Does that make sense?
Pakinggan nyo si Kuya Noel, ha. Maya-maya magagalit yan, mamumula. Sige kayo ang pagagalitan.
Namamawis na yung namamawis na yung kilikili ko. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Let's move on. So, one of the things that I want to talk about, actually, if you don't mind, you sent over to, I think it was since yesterday, you actually sent a link regarding the Coldplay concert in the Philippines.
Oh,
Okay. Well, basically, it wasn't regarding the Coldplay concert. It was regarding the Manila traffic, which just happens to. It was
hold on.
what?
Time out. That's
Okay.
another like really serious topic. Before we get into that, can we do the word of the day first?
Oh, sure, sure, sure. Absolutely.
Millennial word of the day.
I feel so much better already. I hope you don't mind. We play that version. I felt like the other one was like really old looking.
No, no, no,
And
no. It's definitely fine.
if you don't mind, I'll pick the word of the day for today.
It's right there. I already picked it.
Which one?
Fire.
Oh, okay. That's not in my list. What is
Oh,
that about?
save that tomorrow. Save that tomorrow or the
Yeah,
next.
yeah, sure. Go for it.
So, fire. Okay. Have you ever heard any millennial use this word fire to begin with?
Well, the way I understand it, if something is fire, it's like it's astig.
Yeah.
It's
It's
awesome.
according to the Urban Dictionary, fire is a slang term used to describe something that is exciting, outstanding, or gaining popularity quickly, or something that's very, very, very good.
Okay. So it's not too far from the way that we use the word fire.
No, 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 it's not. It's not. But like for example, if I'm eating a burger, oh man, this burger is fire. This burger is this burger is fire, bro.
What else
I
you
gotta
got?
admit that's actually more appropriate than the one yesterday, the last recording. The last word of the day was bet. Okay, that I don't get. I'm never gonna understand. I'm never gonna catch on to that stupid word. Fine, but this one is not bad. Fire.
By the way, if you're just joining us about the word of the day, these are words on the internet frequently used or at least understood by millennials and or Gen Zs that would not normally be used by older generations like ourselves with the same meaning. So fire, millennial for a millennial, this is one's exceptionally cool or great. Coincidentally, it also stands for financial independence, retire early.
What?
Financial independence,
Oh, the
retire
acronym.
early. Yeah, it's also an acronym,
Jeez.
which may be a goal that many millennials strive for, especially
Right,
as
right, right.
institutions like Social Security has become less available to them. It also means great, amazing, wonderful, all the good things if you go over your grandmother's house and she makes that sweet potato pie that you like so much. You can say, "Thanks, Grams. Your sinigang, it's fire."
And then grandma's gonna reply, "Yeah, I'm hoping to be in that status pretty soon."
And I guess that's what the emoji fire also stands for. So if anybody, which we haven't gotten any kind of comment yet, then let's say we talk about something and then they say something and then there's the emoji fire on it, that means they liked it, they enjoyed it.
We actually did get one comment.
We did get a comment with fire on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did it have anything to do with burning your house down or nothing like that?
No, it's more like this person was like saying that he keeps saying these words, like millennial words, to his kids just to annoy
Oh.
them.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so that is today's millennial word of the day. That's the wrong one.
Millennial word of the day.
That was so anticlimactic.
Okay, Coldplay and Traffic.
Hold on. Basically, well, yeah, okay. So you sent this clip yesterday about a newscaster. First of all, about the ridiculous issue of traffic in Manila. Basically, I didn't know this to begin with. Last year, 2023 worst city traffic in the world was Manila. And you should be able to speak more into this since you actually experience it all the time.
I was about to say, no, I don't. I always just avoid passing where everybody else passes, or I try to avoid being on the road when everybody else is on the road. Like Chris and the rest of Coldplay being on the road all at the same time.
Right, right.
But wait, first of all, this is number one, like in the whole
In the
world.
world, in the world.
Wow.
So they're saying that they're getting the data from TomTom basically, and it says all based on TomTom traffic index. So I don't know
Wow.
how they pull these numbers out, but
Like
Manila being 2023's worst city traffic in the world.
we beat India and Bangladesh and all these other countries.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised about that, to be honest with you, because you would think, right? But I pulled up a couple of information just to have it match up with and whatnot. Did you know that last year, um, in the Philippines, in Manila specifically, okay,
Mm.
on on average for the whole year, an average person stuck in traffic for 246 hours for the
Wow.
whole year. Yeah, that's equivalent to a little bit over 10 days in traffic. So you're losing 10 days out of your life in the year just sitting and waiting in traffic. Can you imagine that?
Yeah,
And I was like,
exactly. All the
now what could be causing all of that traffic? I mean, is it just the sheer number and volumes is the number one answer that I found online. Okay. I didn't know this. Okay. In Manila, there is a total in Metro Manila alone, there's over 14 million people. Did you know that?
Mm. No.
On any given day, there are 3 million vehicles on the road in the streets of Manila. 3
Wow.
million. That's, I was like thinking to myself, holy shit. No wonder there's so much traffic in the Philippines, and the infrastructure alone is just ridiculous.
Here's my 2 centavos on that.
Oh,
Cars, vehicles in general are just getting too much too cheap. And the number two, I think driver's license are just being given out like flyers left and right. Almost.
too cheap.
Puso mo, puso mo. Yung mga magko-comment dyan na naman na ano relax.
Chill lang kayo mga pare. Chill lang. No, but
Chill.
I don't understand that. So why would they just hand out? Isn't there like a pretty strict Department of Motor Vehicle test to obtain
Eh,
driver's license?
not really. Yeah, there is like thing, but not their like the practical exam. In my opinion, the way I
Yeah.
see it, but it takes too much time, so they just kind of like, you look like you know how to drive. It's okay. Next.
Jesus.
It's not like that's like how long is the driver's test? Like an hour,
Mm,
15 minutes, 30
right.
minutes.
Right.
That's like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. That's wasted time that we could be like processing other. Because the more we process, and I'm not like necessarily blaming LTO or the transportation authorities or what for doing this. Because on
Mhm.
the flip side of this, if they don't do it this way, the people will also say, "Oh, it's so anti-poor. You're not allowing people to be like driving."
Right. Right.
You can never like please everybody. But just the way I see it, and relax, this is just my opinion. Um, gosh, I have to say that every time we have to say something, we're going to say something controversial or something, uh, whatever. I don't even know the word for it. Something opinionated. Is that yeah? So the exams are not difficult enough, and people. What was I trying to say?
The
Yeah, but
test. Taking the test.
the test, the driver's license is just too easy to get,
Mm.
and it's just too easy to get cars.
Right. Right.
Like it's not like in scuba diving where you can't buy a scuba tank or scuba gear without without a diving license.
Right.
Technically, you can't. Or you shouldn't be sold the stuff. So same thing. I think with a car, like people get sold cars or even motorcycles without driver's license. As
Mm,
long as they have
mm.
the money to pay for it, here's your vehicle. It's like it's not our problem to be checking if you have a
But
driver's license or not.
do you think that that gives or partakes in more reasoning to why the traffic in the Philippines is so bad? I mean,
So
it
that
says
means
here,
more drivers. That means more drivers, more vehicles on the road.
right, but not everybody has access to a vehicle though. That's the thing. But still, 3 million vehicles over or 3 million cars going through EDSA alone on a daily basis. Okay?
And that's with have you are you familiar with number coding?
No.
Like depending on your license plate, the ending of your license plate from 0 to 9, like you're not allowed to be on the road on those particular days. Let's say like
Oh yeah, yeah,
0 and
yeah.
1 would be Monday, you're not allowed. Tuesday, and then so some people they have two cars so that they
Right.
have a backup car. Malas mo na lang
Yeah.
if both of your cars are on the same day.
Well, in comparison here, so they're saying in EDSA alone, okay,
Mm.
on a daily basis, there's about 3 million cars that goes through there on a daily basis. On average, okay, to travel 10 kilometers, which is about 5 miles, it takes on a regular day
Mm.
about, what does that say here? I just lost it. I was just looking at it.
So yeah, while you're looking at it, if you just joined us, but this is about Coldplay mentioning about the traffic in their
Right, right.
concert.
Oh, so on average, it takes about 25 and a half minutes to travel 10 kilometers, which is about
Right.
roughly about half a mile. Okay. That's on any given day. Okay. On
Yeah.
EDSA. Now, on rush hour, it could go as high as um, 30 minutes to 31 minutes to
Yeah.
travel 5 miles. That's insane.
Nakapag-online business ka na habang naghihintay ka sa traffic,
Yun
no?
na nga. And then apparently in the Philippines last year for 2023, the worst day recorded for traffic was December 15, 2023, where
Wow.
traveling 5 miles or 10 kilometers took 32.7 minutes. That was the worst traffic measured last year for Metro Manila. In comparison, I know this is numbers I'm throwing out here, okay? Can you imagine? That's 246 hours a year in in Manila, what was lost in traffic. In New York City, this is the top three worst cities of 2023 in the US last year.
Mm.
New York City, 236 hours. That's roughly about 10 days. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
That's number one. Now, the second worst traffic in the US last year, of course, it's around the corner from me, Washington, D.C. 196 hours, which is roughly 9 days.
Mm.
And then San Francisco is
Mm.
184 hours, which is roughly 8 days.
You know, when we were in San Francisco, we were middle class, poor. We didn't have a car. I
Right.
never had to ride a car when we were in San Francisco. That's the thing. So we actually have and I have to give credit to, the government working on it. So they're working on the public transportation, the buses, the jeepneys. They're trying to phase that out or like improve it.
Right.
And the trains also. So, infrastructure wise, we're about 10, 15, 20 years behind. But in fairness, they're trying to like ramp it up now and catch up with it. But
How
to,
are they
to answer
doing that?
infrastructure, like build
Public transportation?
public transportation, the bridges, and they're trying to figure out what to do with like the EDSA bus lane kind of
Right.
thing and implement the particular rules and regulations because there already are. And then like there's this thing that they're doing like road widening. They're trying to clear out just because there are a lot of choices for roads, for example, to get around EDSA and not have to
Right.
pass EDSA. But people don't pass these esquinitas because let's say there's another car or another palenque blocking the road. So they're
Mm.
trying to clear out a lot of the roads. So in
I
fairness to
don't
them, they're doing it. I don't know if they're doing a good job. They should have done
see.
it a few years ago, yada yada yada, but that's where we are.
Well, I think one of the problems that's causing we're obviously the number sheer volume of cars in Manila is insane, especially the number of cars that goes through EDSA and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But let's be honest, majority of that has to be public transportation.
It's not.
It's not. They're all private vehicles. You think? I don't think
I don't
so.
know what the ratio is, but there are a lot. I don't think it's enough. Like just me as a commuter, I don't think there's enough public
Public,
transportation
you think so,
infrastructure
really?
in place. Yeah,
I don't know
in
because
my
see,
in my opinion, yeah.
even with LRT running and whatnot. Okay, I was watching this because of that video that you saw me. It led me to like search random day to day lives of Manila public commute. Okay,
Mm,
there's this guy. I was thinking about showing their clips, but it's too personal and whatnot. I didn't want to like add it into just public
mm,
shows and whatnot. But
mm,
this guy would get up at 4:30 every morning.
mm-hmm,
Okay,
mm-hmm,
he needs to be out on the road near the platforms of LRT already to take the train at 5:30 or 6 a.m.
mm-hmm,
Because come 6:30 or 7 a.m. it's literally an ant farm.
mm-hmm.
It's insane, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you have to spend a lot of people are actually getting into the train station by 7 or 8 a.m. because it takes them another hour or two just to get
Mm-hmm.
because they might not get on the train because of the volume of people as well. Parang siksikan talaga,
That's
you
right.
know. Amount of people that get on that, there's not a lot of fatalities just because it looks like you could barely breathe in there,
Mm-mm.
you
Yeah,
know.
no, it's pretty. I think it's reasonable. It's reasonable. It's pretty safe. But yeah, it could be better. Like
Mm.
the kugon, I think is what they call it. The train itself, the size of
Mm.
the train. It's not. It's there's like three. There's three different trains that there's one, two, and three, and all three of them.
Right,
Uh, I don't think they cross each other. They don't. I mean, they cross each other, but they don't get on the same railroad. They don't get on the same tracks.
right.
So they all have different kinds of volume that they can actually carry.
Mm,
So you've
mm.
you've ridden the one on Taft Avenue. That's LRT one. That's the brown one.
Okay.
You've ridden that? I'm asking.
Oh, no, 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 no. I've never ridden it.
Oh, yun. So they have that one. That's brown, and then they have like another line that's on EDSA, which for some strange reason, the way I see it, it's a little smaller. But the bigger one is like line three, the purple one. That carries a little. So yun, iba-iba yung sizes nung trains. Um,
Mm, mm.
but wait, am I trying to answer a question here?
No, 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 no.
But
You were just commenting on it and whatnot. But I was
but
like,
yeah, I don't think it's enough. Like and plus all these the basta, it's not enough. There is a way to commute, but it's not enough.
right, right. You, and there's so many of these. What do you call that? Like angkas.
Yeah, that's why that's booming so much because these motorcycle taxis, they call it motorcycle taxis here, right?
Right.
Yun, it's booming because for some people, even if they have a car, I was going to joke that there's two kinds of people in Manila: the ones that commute and the one that drives their own private vehicles. But
Right.
um, even the ones that have vehicles, they just rather ride the MCs or these motorcycle taxis because yun nga, it's hassle pa to park. You're stuck in traffic
Right.
and you have nothing else to worry about if you're on that motorcycle taxi.
But now looking at the traffic pattern and just the way it's out of control. I mean, the motorcycles and the scooters inching in every possible space that they can, right? I understand it helps you drive quicker and get to from A to B quicker, but
Yeah.
it's causing more problems, you know? When there's so many of little vehicles inching in at every space, it's causing the bigger vehicles to not move because they have to be cautious and worried about hitting somebody. And then
Mm, I don't know. I'm not going to argue with you about having more motorcycles or not on the road.
right.
Because some
I,
people they would argue that motorcycles are actually helping decongest the traffic because some people are not riding cars.
I don't. I mean, I agree with you. I actually agree with you. I just think that it needs to be structured properly and it needs to be enforced properly. I know that there's specifically a specific lane for commuter lanes or motorcycles in the Philippines only, right? In Manila
Yeah,
specifically.
There's even
Now,
bike lanes. Yeah, bicycle lanes.
people just need to abide by it, you know. But the problem there is the structure itself. There's not enough lanes and whatnot. It still makes it smaller. Plus the additional constructions on the sides or the vendors. It doesn't make it easy.
The answer: work from home.
What are the odds of that, of somebody getting that option in the Philippines? Really,
And then
it's a lot harder.
the internet is like flaky. So like,
Right.
no, now you have to now you have to work at the office.
See, I mean, how? I mean, I actually do remember you what you just mentioned about the whole what is that coding, the number coding for your
Mm.
vehicles? Okay, because it's been around forever. I do remember this now, actually. Um, when I visited in 2010, I think, or 12, can't remember.
Mm.
Um, I took some family members out to eat, and then I was like, "Oh, sorry, we were late. The taxi was taking forever." I'm like, "Taxi? Why didn't you drive?" You know, because I know that person had a car. It's like, "Oh, I can't drive it today."
Mm.
Ah, I'm like, okay. Then that's when she explained to me actually the whole um coding thing for your vehicles and whatnot. You know, and
Sorry, I
no,
got distracted.
she did not have extra vehicles, and you know.
Sorry, I got distracted. We're stuck in traffic now. This is what it looks like.
Yeah, I forgot I put that up there. Um, the traffic in New York City is bad. To be honest with you, it's the only city in the U.S. that I could think of that's comparable to the traffic in Manila. But now that
Mm.
I think about it, and after watching these random videos, it's not even that bad. Now I look at it in New York City as being simple. You know,
No,
um,
it's not a simple problem, and it's not just about enforcing. There's
correct.
also, from it starts from the driver's license, the vehicles, etc., etc. It's like solving a calculus problem. I'm not in the position to make suggestions on what we should be doing about it,
Right, right.
but I guess it's more. I guess if we are like, why are we even talking about it? Why are we bothering? Because is it Chris Lawrence, right? Not Chris Martin. Chris Lawrence. Is it Chris Lawrence?
No, it's
That's his
Chris
last
Martin.
name.
Chris
Yeah,
Martin.
okay, I get confused. Okay, so Chris Martin mentioned it. It was so bad enough that he mentioned it. Speaking of Chris Martin and Coldplay concert and traffic and thanking everybody for braving the traffic and all that, I also
Right.
wanted to acknowledge them for because I was bringing up the fact that they brought up Dilau on their
Yes, on their stage.
on stage. I wanted to say that it's so cool of them to be able to be doing that for all, because they're doing like a world tour now, right?
Correct.
And from one of the comments that I saw on one of the concert uploads
I
that I
lost
saw,
you.
that they're
Oh.
actually they're doing that for all the local artists that they're visiting.
Mm.
So there's like one or two artists that they put up on stage on the 1 or 2 days that they're on that venue. So they brought up a couple of other bands also here,
Oh,
uh,
nice, nice.
aside from Dilau, which we're proud of because they're from Baguio.
Hmm.
Um, but they brought up a couple of bands also. So I think it's really cool of them to share the stage with local artists
Mm, mm, mm.
when when they're since they're doing that world tour now.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
so funny how it made world news. How on the 19th and the 20th of January, a couple of days ago, Coldplay, like you said, was doing their world tour and had their leg on the Philippines. And the sheer craziness of the experience that they had with traffic and
Mhm.
how they got stuck on it. They actually wrote that song, um, and sang it in the concert venue itself. It
Mhm.
caught national attention. It's crazy. It's kind of funny, but because they were like saying, there was that interview that I read. I wanted to show the clip, but you know what? It's gonna mess with the copyright again, unfortunately, just because it's Coldplay.
It's all right. I think what's more interesting about that, I think it's the you're talking about the Al Jazeera news report that I shared with you, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the real highlight of the story is not really the traffic, not Coldplay mentioning the traffic and the Philippines winning number one traffic,
Mm,
most traffic in the city. I think the highlight of that story was that the president
yeah. I was
wanted
gonna say
to
that.
visit, went to the concert, on a helicopter. And now he's
Yeah.
also getting flack for riding a helicopter and not bracing the traffic like everybody else. It's like, what's your take on that?
Okay, there's two sides of it. I mean, one, the regular person that I am thinking, it must be nice, you know. But two,
What?
I mean, you're attending a concert. Granted, it's going to require a lot of security preparation and whatnot, which they should have done ahead of time. You know, they should have prepared it, prepared a different route, opened up some lanes specifically for that. That's more understandable. I'm okay with that.
Mm, mm,
But to last minute or not last minute, I don't know when they were planned it, but to just all of a sudden spend national resources just like that, because that can't be cheap. Okay.
mm.
That can't be cheap. And then take a helicopter all the
Mm.
way to the concert, which actually was what,
Doesn't
30
doesn't your
kilometers
president
away?
doesn't your president take the helicopter to watch a concert?
Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever actually heard of a president to take a helicopter to the concert.
Mm,
Now, I know for a fact that they've actually done not public transportation, but they have the whole public barricade and whatnot for the president to attend like concerts. I know President Obama did that,
mm,
you know, and it's 30 kilometer from Malacanang to Philippine Arena,
mm,
30 kilometers, which is about 15 miles.
mm, mm,
Um,
mm.
Probably would have taken 3-4 hours, if not long, to get there. But I think with proper preparation, they could have prepared it in advance to make the routes easier for that particular convoy.
So you don't think, or are you in agreement? Do you think that he should have ridden a helicopter? Was it right for him to do so or not?
Okay, here's here's my cross take on this one. Okay,
Look at WION. They're
Yeah.
calling it a joyride.
see, that might be if these guys really know the experience of traffic in the Philippines, it might be a different story. Okay, would it be cheaper for the president of the Philippines to transport via convoy from Malacanang to Philippine Arena,
Mm,
and the cost that it would take, the effect that it would take, creating a specific route, opening up streets and whatnot for this particular convoy. Would it be cheaper to do that in the Philippines or just him hop in the helicopter?
mm, mm.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Because I'm assuming that based on the structure of the traffic structure in the Philippines, it's not going to be easy to just open up a lane for them to travel into.
It's a security risk. That's what his security convoy is probably saying. Sir,
No,
sir,
that's exactly what they
mag-helicopter.
said.
Mag-helicopter na lang tayo, sir. Baka, di ba?
It is a security risk, but it's a risk that, it does make an effect. I mean, that's part of the job,
Mm-mm.
you know? If the presidents of the United States are able to take their convoys from some places here, I'm not saying that they've never taken the helicopter from the White House to an event, because I know they've done that in multiple occasions.
Mm.
But for the most part, even watching football games, they take their convoy, as far as I know.
Most of the time, they'd take the
Yeah.
convoy, meaning they'd be traveling on land and not be using the helicopter.
Correct. It can't be cheap flying those things.
Ako,
I can't
man,
even imagine.
based on our last, Ryan Agoncillo comments, I don't want to comment on this one. I plead the fifth. I don't want to get bashed again for
Right.
commenting on this. But yeah,
I mean, that's the thing,
But-
though. I mean, how?
that's what I wanted to bring up. Actually, you imagine? Can you see exactly what I mean about how we get so affected by these things?
Right. Right.
That's my point. It's like we could be talking about something else, like I don't know, the weather and how cold it has been lately, which is weird. We're
But it
talking
can't
about
always be like that, though. It can't always be like
president's-
that. this
The pre-
conversation in regards to what the president's move was in regard to taking the helicopter for the concert, it
yeah,
should be public discussion. You know,
yeah.
was it right? Can that money be used for something better? I don't know. But again, see, that's the thing, though. Like I said earlier, I keep going back to this. The amount and the cost that it would take to open up roads and create a route
Mm,
from where the president is to the venue.
mhm.
Is it going to be cheaper versus taking the helicopter? You know what I mean?
It's like
Because the cost and
maybe he just thought about going like last minute. Uy, may concert palang Coldplay ngayon. Tara.
that could be it, but we don't know that. You know, I'm watching my comment in regards to that because we don't know really, right?
You know, by your suggestion about coming up with a presidential route so that the president is safe,
Right.
you should move back here and work for the president. Come on.
I, that's hard though because it is a security risk. But what I'm saying is it's an option. I know for a fact here in the States, in the US, they don't just travel their convoys without doing proper research. You know, they
They don't
have
just go to a
people,
concert last
correct.
minute and decide to take a helicopter, right?
They literally plan different routes, plan A,
Mhm.
B, C, D routes, and then they will pick randomly each one based on how they feel or whatever. Because
So
it can't be just one route.
if we worked for the president, you would have thought about, sir, let's plan the route so that we don't get in trouble. And then I would have said, sir, let's not take the helicopter. Medyo mahal yan eh.
No, exactly. But again, if I was in that particular position or situation in the Philippines, for example, I am going to bring up those questions. Meaning, is it cheaper for us to generate 3 or 4 different routes
Mm.
because you can't just generate one and take that one for the, you know what I mean?
And what are the people going to say if we take the helicopter? What's that going to look like?
Exactly. Is it cheaper to create it by land or by then? You know, maybe it was cheaper to take it by air this time around. Who's to
Yeah.
say, right? So now that's the point of view that people need to look at. But that's the thing, though. It's sad to say, most people don't. As these news actually shows. Yes. Oh, okay. These newscasters. Oh, taking for the Filipino president taking the helicopter for a joyride. Come on. Maybe in that country it is cheaper to take it by land. Who's to say, right? I don't know their budget. I don't know what it's going to cost to create 2, 3, 4 different routes, possible routes, to the Philippines. I don't know.
And then maybe have the helicopter. Okay, now we're feeling the working for the president and, as security for the president. He could be having a helicopter on standby just in case that route doesn't work.
Exactly. That could have been done as well. You know, who's to say? I don't know. They should
But
have
wouldn't that
looked at what the cheaper route, because one way or the other, the president's going to go. The president's going to go. The president's going to go. It should be
wouldn't that
accounted
make
for in the budget.
so cool though? The president stuck on traffic, like in the middle of EDSA, helicopter lands, picks up the president, and then
Let's roll.
goes to the concert. Let's roll. Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. I mean, that's why I think they're going to create multiple routes because they can't, you never know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
They're not going to let it get to that point where the president's going to get stuck in a specific route, obviously, because that's dangerous. Right?
Yeah.
If I was whoever decided for him to do that, I hope took the proper measures and decision makings to make and end up making that decision. Now,
Yeah.
I know we're running out of time, but I want to get into this as well.
Yeah. What you got?
And this is in relation to everything that we talked about in the Philippines: the traffic, the venue, the president doing president's team doing what they did in regards to taking the helicopter.
Mm.
So the Coldplay concert was held in the world's largest indoor arena. I did not know that it's the world's largest indoor arena. It's the Philippine Arena. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
And it's amazing, to be honest with you. It's state of the art, but it's not as state of the art, but still it's amazing. It looks cool, it's clean, and I was actually quite impressed by the place looking at the pictures. But
Mm.
I know, And I can see where the problem is in regards to the traffic. Everything, something big happens in this place, just like the Bruno Mars concert, where it was traffic of hell.
Mm.
This is the layout that I
Mm.
found online of the Philippine Arena.
Mm.
How many entrance and exits do you see just by looking
Right.
at this map?
Looks like there's just one.
Exactly. There's maybe two. For what I see
One
is
or
two.
uh
Okay. Um, I'm sorry,
not,
but don't expect to have no traffic or better traffic organization in a layout like this. This is horrible.
what should it look like? Like a star
Well,
with a lot of
I
exits?
don't know, but in a venue like this big, okay, you can't have two or three only entrance and exits.
Mm.
It looks here what? Exit 1, exit 2, exit 3. Okay. What are the
Oh, you're
odds?
talking about for the cars. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, yeah, for the vehicle.
Mm-mm.
But they all lead to probably where? The same location or the same areas? It can't be like that.
Mm-mm. Yeah, this is near a freeway too.
Oh, tingnan mo. I mean, there's one direction going to Baguio, the other one going to Manila, I think is what it says. Yeah, see? How is this gonna work? How with the amount of people in the Coldplay concert on the 19th where the president went, besides the president being there, there was
Mm-mm.
over 50,000 people that attended the concert, or 40,000 people.
Wow.
Still, I can't
Nice.
imagine public transportation, the angkas or the
Mm-mm.
Ubers and the private cars and whatnot.
Mm-mm.
Grabe. Yung parking yan. I mean, for this venue, people were actually taking days off to go to this
Just
concert.
to be able to attend the concert. Yeah.
Right.
I've never
Biruin mo
been
na
here.
lang.
I've seen it though. Like across from like yeah, but it's huge.
Yeah,
Like on from the freeway. You could see that
oh,
it's huge.
how
But I
far is
didn't
it
know
from your
that
place?
oh like it, uh far. 50 kilometers. 50
Okay.
kilometers. Yeah, this like this is all the way past the end of EDSA. I live on the opposite end of EDSA, way past that
Hmm.
south.
Hmm.
So this is somewhere north already. This is like around the Balintawak area, I think.
Mm-hmm. And
So way past SM North, past
so I was
EDSA.
looking at this picture and I was like thinking to myself, how is there going to be no traffic? Where
Mm,
every road inside the venue, the parking areas and whatnot leads to what? Maybe two or three areas?
mm, 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 mm.
No matter what, there's going to
Ah,
be insane traffic.
I don't know what the land authority situation is that they have there, but is it the planning? Is it the government? Whose fault is it? Do they point fingers?
Hmm.
My little 2 centavo experience about that was I go to one government agency. Let's not name it. I go to
Hmm.
one government agency, oh, and then say, "Oh, you have to go to this government agency," and you go to that government agency, and you go to a third government agency. No, you should have gone to the one and two. And I'm like, I just want to file a report. What do I need to do? Yeah, you don't really know what you get so tired of the paperwork. You just want to do what you think you need to do as a concerned citizen, and you don't even know where to. So that's just like government agencies. I don't know how things work with engineering and you know traffic planning and that kind of thing here, but
Hmm.
I'm sure you guys have like big arenas or big venues that also have sort of this kind of problem. What do they do about it?
Well,
Do they
that's the
tear it
thing, yeah.
down
So
and come
there's
up with a new route?
there's always different um there's multiple entrance and exits, that's for sure. Okay. But the traffic is just organized better, you know.
Mm-mm.
And then they're very diligent in regards to um giving tickets or whatnot, or towing people
Oh,
that park randomly or just taking U-turns out of nowhere.
Bro, did you hear about this? Speaking of being diligent, did you hear that after this Coldplay concert, apparently they had like some wristbands that they gave out for the
Mhm.
concert, and then you're supposed to return it after. It's like 80% of the people I heard was like didn't return it, didn't return that wristband that's like has like a nice little light on it, and then it glows, and
I
I don't know
see.
how that works. So some high tech wristband, and then like as a remembrance, it's like
People
80%,
took it.
70-80% of the people didn't return it, which was like, what? And I
Are
guess
they
that's it.
stupid enough to actually expect it to be returned?
So now we're number one again for not returning out of all the
I wouldn't
concerts.
return it. If it's going to be some kind of remembrance, to be honest with you, if I'm all hyped up in the concert, I'll probably just walk out with it without even knowing.
Yeah, you'd be too high.
Yeah,
You'd be too excited and too happy to have Coldplay and all the stuff that happened. You got the local bands that came up there. Chris talking about traffic, and then they recorded a song together or something like that they
right.
did on stage. It was like a lot of good stuff going on and then next thing you know, oh, I gotta return my bracelet. It's like the last thing on your mind. Anything else that you have going on in that about that Coldplay concert? It's
Now,
pretty interesting that you dug into it.
yeah, nothing really. I mean, I didn't. I wanted to play the song, to be honest with you, but I didn't want to mess with any kind of copyright issues and right now. But the big thing that I took on that in relation to the concert and everything else that we talked about is just the traffic issue and how the
Mm.
president's team went on. What I want to know is how they went on to decide to take that route. Take the chopper.
Somebody probably said, you're the president, you could take the chopper, come on, let's go.
Probably.
Who's gonna
Who
care? You're the
knows?
president. Nobody's allowed to comment on you riding the helicopter all of a sudden, like last minute. 7-Eleven. You want to go to 7-Eleven? Let's go, sir. Let's go.
I don't think they'd go that bad, but
And then Marcos is probably like, are you sure? Sigurado ka ba? Hindi, sige. Sagot kita. Ako bahala sa'yo.
I'm sure there's some kind of team that actually takes care of that for him, though, that maybe makes that decision for that. But who knows, right? I mean,
Have you
he
heard
is
of
the
that?
president.
Have you heard of that phrase before though? Like, walang problema. Sagot kita, pare. Sagot
No, I've
kita.
never really. I've never.
Yeah, and so it's another way of saying, "Don't worry, I got your back, bro. I got your back. Don't worry.
Okay,
Let's go.
yeah.
Let's
Okay.
I got your back. I got your
Right, right.
back." And then now that he's getting all the flack for it, like the president, blah blah blah, is like, he's probably like,
What am I gonna do? Yeah, yeah.
It's
I'm
like,
well,
it wasn't my suggestion to take. I wanted to take the motorcycle, but you guys didn't
right.
want me to.
Well, my last thought on that is, you know what? Cut him some slack because I'm sure it was his team that made a decision to take that, not him. That's what I
Yeah, that's
guess.
a good point. That's
Yeah,
a good point. It
yeah.
was probably not the president's decision, but at the end of the day, it's his name it's his ass that's sitting on the helicopter. So
Exactly. So whoever is dealing with that PR team right there is probably gonna get some kind of hell.
yeah. Well,
You
let's
know.
talk about the aliens. Let's like talk about something else. Like let's
Right.
throw in a couple of aliens at the mall.
Well,
Distract from the president riding a helicopter to a Coldplay concert.
anything else you want to add? Because I think we are all set for the day.
That's all good. Brian Ogoncillo, I love you, pare.
Oh,
Nothing,
pare.
nothing
Thank
about
you. Salamat,
no,
pare.
nothing about your bag like while you're hosting in the middle of a show. Don't worry about comments like that about like low life podcasters like us. Don't be bothered.
Well, don't let us bother you. It's all
Yeah.
good. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. It was a little surreal, to be honest with you, today's discussion, but I kind of enjoyed it.
Surreal?
Yeah.
What's that about?
What do you mean?
What do you mean surreal?
It
Like it was
felt
unbelievable.
no.
I love the fact that we started with it was still dark behind on that window of yours, and then now it's like really bright.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Oh,
it's not a
outside. Yeah,
problem.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
that
just
one.
love
That
how
one.
the background changed. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I should have said surreal, but it was just a little bit. I don't know. I don't know how
I
to look
think
at
I
it.
think we're slowly starting to warm up the seats. After a
Probably.
hundred something episodes, it's only now that we're like, I got a couple of really got a couple of really hater comments past couple of days,
Yeah.
like really opinionated comments, and I'm like, I think we're starting to like sort of warm up the seats a little bit.
Right,
It's like
right, right.
sitting on the back seat of a helicopter, and we're like,
Well,
you know,
that
first
being
few first few rides were like, wow, ganun pala traffic sa EDSA, ganyan, ganyan. But after like 10 times riding the
it's
helicopter, we'll
just
probably be
it's
like,
just cash.
wake me up when we get there. Wake
It's
me up
just
when we get to the Coldplay concert.
it's just cash, casual.
Is that a millennial word too?
I
Cash.
don't know, cash. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Those comments, we are going to reply to every single one of them. We're running a little behind again still. Actually, it's not that much left, but thank you for your support. Please continue to support us. Your subscribes, your likes,
Or
comments,
hate
we
us.
take them,
Whatever.
good or bad. Anyway, again, the next episode is going to be this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, 7:30 Philippines, 7:30 p.m. Again, this
You
is the
can
flip side with Jay and Noel. My name is
I was
Jay.
about to say you could revive the hate. My name is Noel.
I'll catch you guys later.
On the flip side.
On the flip side. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch us on the next episode, Sunday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines.